Green.
The YouTube channel. It's the turbine guide. That's the guy you want to go see it and become a subscriber. That's what he always promotes. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Is that what it's all about?
Thumbs up.
Okay. Well, we're going to give Jay a microphone so that he can actually.
Turbine guy says thumbs up. I got scooch by you here, Joe.
Are you moving in?
I'm moving in. I got scooch right by you, so I can be on camera.
Oh, I see. You need to get it all set up.
We're going.
Yeah. Well, I
We're
noticed.
going.
I know, but you want to see it on the monitor.
I
here.
know you like to see yourself.
Oh, I thought
You're so used to doing radio with just hoping that there's people out there listening, and you never. But this way, you get to see yourself, and I know you like that.
Well, I noticed on the NASCAR, when you went to NASCAR and did the video type thing, they were watching themselves on their monitor. So everybody's doing it now, right?
Yeah, well, that's half.
Huh?
That's
Everybody's
half the fun.
streaming the live stuff.
Well, not everybody.
Huh? Not everybody.
YouTube don't let everybody stream.
Oh, okay.
No, you got to reach certain elevations, just
Okay.
like being monetized before you get to stream.
Okay. Well, see if we can ever get to the KRWC stream.
There I am.
You guys can.
No, we're going to the
tell me all
turbine
about it.
guy stream. See, who's that? Who's that?
There he
Right
is.
there.
Look at that guy. He's got all these videos. That's the secret, isn't it, Jay? Get up lots of videos. How many videos do you shoot? You're like a movie.
Me? I'm probably up to
Mogul
about
now.
400 or so by now.
Yeah, you're like a movie
Well, here.
mogul now.
I got to here. I want to dismiss that. Skip the ad. Look, there we are. Ready
You
to
got
go.
it.
There's 2 people watching now. But that's somebody. And for those people on YouTube, and I was listening to you on the way in, it is all about the green, right?
It is all about
And you know what I titled the show today because of what you were saying?
Energy Day, right?
And the cost of energy is going up.
Yeah. I think we talked about this 5 years ago when we started the show. You were talking about
Yeah.
a day will come when energy is going to be a little different, then the cost of it's going to be a little different. And we're sure headed.
The day will come. It's here. Are you kidding me? Excel Energy is asking for a 16% increase next year. 16. Okay, 15.9 something. Okay, whatever. I mean, huge. When I do my calculations, and I was just with a client. I think I got a wind turbine sold, a used turbine, and he wants solar. He's got a perfect setup for it. And anyways, I was telling him about that. When I put my proposals together, I do a 25-year averaged rate. Okay, of 4% increase per year, and I compare that to today's rates, and it usually cuts a payback time in half. Well, 4% a year, geez, talk about conservative. That's like past history now. 16, we're talking double digits.
Unbelievable.
When's it going to stop? It's never going to stop. Not with the way our administration's running things.
But that's what we were talking about. Again, this is the time. If you've noticed that your energy bills are a little higher, you need to kind of take a look at that, don't you?
I have had people tell me I've just had the biggest energy bill I've ever had. And you know what I said? I said, get used to it. Or do what I do. I put solar on, I put wind in, and I lock in my electric rate at today's rates. And then I don't have to pay those exorbitant energy bills so all those electric company executives can go buy their new Lexus.
So again, alternative energy, just like we were talking about
Geothermal.
when you came, geothermal. Is
I
another
heard
one.
that on the way up. That's
So
a good one.
Lot of different ways to do that.
I want to get into micro hydro. I think that'd be super cool if you could install a few of those because that is like constant energy. It's not varying. It doesn't vary with the wind and it doesn't vary with the sun. I suppose it varies when a drought comes through, but we don't have them that bad up here. Some people, their streams are always flowing.
Well, Don is out busy today with an installation.
I
of some
heard that. I
sort.
thought he wanted to stop doing that.
Don would never want to stop.
Come on, I thought he was ready to
No.
give all that up.
No,
No.
That's the last thing he really wanted to do.
Oh, that's just what he said.
He loves to go out and do jobs.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the business side of the business, but he likes to go out, talk with people, and help them out.
He's a
with
talker.
installations. Exactly.
He is a talker.
So he is out today, and I don't know if he'll be back in time, but we sure welcome him to do that. I tried to call him, and his phone goes right to voicemail today.
Oh, that means he's out of service somewhere.
Well, Ann thought maybe he had his phone off.
Or off. Or out of battery. Or he dropped it. Could ended up in the toilet. Who knows, right?
Could a lot of different.
Could have been anything.
You know, as you were coming in, we were talking about fireplaces.
Yep.
Because again, this is a great way to add value to the home.
Yep.
And again, add extra heat to that area
And add efficiency.
and add efficiency. And if you're on a lot of acres of wood, obviously burning wood is a good way to go.
Yes. Yes. And another client of mine, potential client, he bought himself a hydronic boiler. The guy told him he could put it inside the building. How well do you think that worked?
Not so well.
He got smoked out in a hurry. Of course, it's got to go on the outside. So now he's got zoning code issues.
That is one thing too. You really need to kind of watch what your city ordinances are and zoning things before you start going too crazy, huh?
Well, it's not so much watch them, but kind of hold them accountable to what they should be doing. Because, a lot of times cities and stuff don't follow the law. They make the law up that they can't make up. So that's been a big part of my plight over the years, is trying to help the government understand how wrong they are.
Good luck with that, Jay.
Yeah, especially when judges can't figure it out. Especially when judges can't figure it out.
I tell you, it's one of those things, isn't it, huh?
It is.
You've been gone for a little while. Is that a good thing that you've been now touring around? I bet you haven't been on this show for
2
almost
weeks,
a month.
Maybe.
Really?
I think.
I think 3 weeks for
I
sure.
think 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks.
Where were you? Will you go to Florida?
Colorado. I'm going to Florida Thursday. So I won't be here on Tuesday. Unless it might get canceled if something happens with the Seanote. Because today is submission day. Today's the day because they had mediation. For all you in Radio Land who don't know what the Seanote is, my people on YouTube sure know. Because I make a video every day. But the Seanote's a Chris Craft boat that's now stuck at a landing in Spring Park, barricaded by the sheriff in Hennepin County and being civilly prosecuted. They're prosecuting the guy who owns a corporation who owns a boat. They're prosecuting the corporation who owns a boat. And they're prosecuting the guy who owns a business who's moving the boat.
Well, anybody can prosecute.
Well, but the problem is, with that dart, they missed the target. They didn't prosecute the company moving the boat, which is the only one liable right now.
Because they were the ones that did not get the correct permits, right?
No.
Well, I thought there was a problem with that.
Well, there's always a problem.
Okay.
I kind of ran into that. My wife and I were criminally charged for what, Joe? Do you remember? Failure to obtain a permit to replace a driveway, remember? But I applied for the permit. They refused to issue it because I would not comply with their illegal requirements. And then they charged us. So it's not that I didn't apply for or deserve the permit. The city was playing a game. So that's what's happening with the Seanote.
This is the same thing.
He applied for a wide load, heavy load permit to move it.
Yes.
They won't issue it. They refuse to issue it.
So what does he do? How does he had to get it to this is the other guy though, right? Now the new guy, he isn't going to take it down south.
No, their whole plan, I found out, was because the name of the company that owns it is Superior Dreams LLC. They're going to buy the boat, fix it up, and move it up to Lake Superior.
Okay.
And they're going to charter it up there or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was their big plan, which fell apart. They were going to do that next year. They're going to spend all winter working on the trailer. But when the insurance adjuster came out to renew the insurance on the boat and look at it, he found an oil leak, dropped the insurance, and then they found a couple other issues with the hull. And they're like, this thing can't survive the ice this winter. We have to get it the heck out of here. And so that's why they ended up crushing through the ice to get to the landing. That's what started the whole saga, the Seanote saga.
And it's still at the landing, but it's illegally parked.
Day 72. And illegally parked's a big question. It's a boat parked in boat slots. And they will not let him move it. It's not for his lack of moving. See, here's the crazy part. They had a state inspector come out, and y'all may not have heard this, but there was a hearing where the judge ordered mediation. The mediation went on last week, and it was an abysmal failure. Because I guess the county said it's our way or the highway, and the other guy was there to negotiate and try to get something figured out. And so they're both submitting their plans today because that failed. Okay, not sure where I was going with this, but the Seanote now is stuck there until the judge rules after the submissions today. So the judge is going to rule one way or another. Either, Paul, you get to move it, or county, you can move it. Now, I think the problem is if people want to watch my video yesterday, it was on President's Day, and my question was, how many dead presidents is it going to take to move the Seanote? Because that's
You are
what.
so clever with coming up all that stuff.
Well, it just.
You're just coming right off your head.
I don't even think about it. It just comes right out. So I just go with it. So anyways, that was yesterday's video. But from what I understand, Paul is going to do something unique. Now, what happens when a commercial trucker trailer is taken out of service? What do, Joe? Don't they tow it somewhere? Let's say you smash and end up in a ditch. It's out of service. Tow truck, grab it and bring it somewhere.
We can't leave it where it's at. It's got to be moved.
Grab it and move it.
Right.
Well, the towing laws are such that they usurp all these other laws. Okay, so Paul was simply going to get the thing up onto the landing and then have his truck towed and the boat trailer towed to where it gets parked. Perfectly legal in Minnesota. Hennepin County won't even talk to him about that possibility. Aren't even interested.
Because he's got to move a couple things before he moves the boat, right?
Well, there's some barricades in the way.
You can't just take the boat and go down because there's
things
in the way, right? You got to get things, wires moved around.
Well, no, they took the top off the boat, so it should fit under the wires. They just have to kind of squiggle to get around the stoplights. And they're going to do that in the middle of the night. But what they really need is a permit because it's a wide load and a heavy load, but they refused to issue the permit. So they are prosecuting him after refusing to issue a permit.
And the story continues.
Well, it's just the beginning. So I watched the hearing. I watched the whole hearing.
Yes.
And
you were the news guy.
Right? I was media.
Yeah, you're the media.
You keep doing this, Joe. I gotta keep you into the show.
We're here.
There we go.
Okay.
So I watched, and my blood started to boil at one point. Not because the prosecutor is a typical prosecutor who really didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about and was using all these.
Now you got to remember, you're the news guy.
Right.
You can't be one way or the other.
No, I'm not.
You have to see both sides of the fence.
I absolutely do see both sides. Okay, but not because the prosecutor was a typical prosecutor, not necessarily representing actual facts, and using big nasty words like dangerous, like crushing or bending, and so that led me to a discussion. If a pole is sitting there like this, is it bending or is it bent? Okay, one's a verb, the other's a noun. Okay, if something's crushing or crushed, that's different, right? If something's collapsing so you can say collapsing all you want, but if the boat hasn't moved in 4 weeks, how is a verb attached to that at all? It's either collapsed or it hasn't collapsed.
You got to picture what's going to happen.
Well, that didn't really bother me because I'm used to prosecutors being that way. I've seen so many prosecutors just kind of play their game, and it's all about victory. You know, we got to have a conviction. That's what justice, convictions. Okay, so came time for State Trooper Folger, trailer inspector, to be the witness for the prosecution. And he got on there, and he lied. He outright lied.
Now, do you know that, though?
I know that for 1,000% fact.
You got to be careful of how you're terminating here.
The next day I went out and did a video and proved he was completely misrepresenting the truth to the court. Completely. What he said was, because on the trailer there's 3 axles. Each axle has 2 tires on each side. And it's 60,000 pounds worth of load that those tires can carry all between them. So they're big tires, right? He said that all 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 tires were so squished to the ground that they were basically touching the asphalt through the tires.
Not the way you see it.
No.
Not the way you see it.
Not the way the video showed it. Okay. Nothing to do with what I have to say. And I had one guy. No, it's not perception. It's fact. I had one guy try to say, "Well, you're just trying to discredit the officer and this and that." I said, "No, I'm not." I said the officer discredited himself by saying something that wasn't even close to factual. So if you go out and look on one side of the trailer, all the tires are fully pumped up. Yeah. Nothing squishy. The
Yeah.
other side, they're a little squishy, and the front tire's a little more squishy. There's nothing near the pavement. So and that was his reasoning for stating that the trailer was overloaded.
Right.
So
Not
if he
safe.
right, so if he misrepresented, no, overloaded for that. But if he misrepresented that fact, which was his crucial fact, what's he doing testifying? So I blew him apart in my next video. And
You should have testified.
well, what I did
Why
was,
didn't you testify?
what I
Oh,
did
you're
was,
media.
I had a video the next day,
Yeah.
and what I did was, I said, you know what? I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not giving anybody legal advice because I can't do that. But if I were Paul,
Uh-huh.
what I would do is I would be filing a supplemental affidavit with my other affidavit I'm required to file tomorrow or today, whatever it was, and I would take pictures of those tires, and I would show that they are not squished all the way to the pavement, and I would ask for that officer's testimony to be stricken from the record. And I would also make a motion for a couple other things. Well, I guess Paul watches my videos because he saw that. He actually told me, he said, "Man, I got my first affidavit done. I was really happy. Then I saw your video. Damn, he's right. Now I got to do another affidavit." So
Now,
he did.
people can see these videos, right? So
Turbine Guy.
yeah, that's where they want to
Go to the Turbine
Okay.
Guy. That's my channel. Hit
All right.
subscribe,
Yep.
and you'll get updated. You can hit the notification bell or whatever, and then you'll get notified because I do almost daily updates with
And
it.
that's the world according to Jay.
No, it's the world according to the world. Joe, you keep
Okay.
trying to pin all of this on me. I did not sit in front of that
I
judge
see.
and misrepresent the
Okay.
truth.
All
And you know, it's actually kind of obvious if officer didn't even get out of his car because on one side they had put plywood under the tires. So he would have said squishing to the plywood. Kind of. Ooh, there goes, they must be looking for me.
They got you. They got
Don't
your
tell
number.
them where I am. We are no longer at DJ's Energy Savings Store on Pine Street in Monticello.
We're
We're
on
not
some
there
boat
anymore.
floating around somewhere.
Yes, undisclosed location.
That's right.
Full.
We do
of
want to mention, people.
barbecues.
We are doing. It's all about the green. We're here at DJ's in Monticello.
You are.
And
I'm
again,
not.
we do invite folks to come on into the store location right between the I-94 and the River Bridge right off Highway 25 in Monticello.
Right by the old railroad tracks. You
And-
can't miss it.
And we have not mentioned it, but we want to mention it now. The big store that people can shop 24 hours a day.
DJScompanies.com.
days a week.
DJScompanies.com. DJscompanies.com.
Yeah, you'll find all kinds of stuff up there. You can order right through there. If you have questions, what you want to do is you can talk to Mark directly, and he's kind of the web guy taking care of all the stuff on the website. And he is located right here in this store location. You're not going to call another state. You're not going to call another country. You just call Mark. And again, the phone number for DJs is what, Jay?
763-497-2661.
Very good.
There you go.
763.
497-2661.
So if you want to call Mark and talk to him about the website, you can talk to Dave about parts. You can talk to Rick back in the sheet metal shop if you have questions
Yep.
about that. If you have a question about a fireplace, we mentioned fireplaces. you can talk to
Barbecues.
Holly.
Spring's coming.
Yes.
Barbecues. I mean, they got no hot tubs, I see.
Well, hot tubs are on
On the
order,
way.
You know, but hey, that's how it is today. You know, a lot of stuff is back ordered.
It's amazing how many empty shelves you see here and there. And heck, I drove by the Chevy dealer in Delano today, and there's lots about empty.
Yeah.
I bet they can't even get any cars.
Yeah. Well, they do have a couple of different locations. They might ship stuff over to other locations.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have more than just the one location, but it is true. I mean, anywhere you're looking, I mean, they talk to the outdoor power equipment folks and
Everywhere.
trying to get the new motorcycles and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I've got to get a transfer switch for one of my clients, and everything's 6 months out.
Yep.
That ain't gonna work. But one of my suppliers has 4 of them in California, so we got to get one shipped up.
And have you ever seen where the used cars are selling for more than they
Yes,
can?
which is
Because-
why we fixed up our Sebring in Florida. We had to replace the computer. It's like $900 to fix the thing with computer and battery. And I'm like, do we really want to spend that? She says, yeah, when we get $3,000 for the car.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't we?
yeah. No, it's crazy.
Maybe even more these days.
Well,
Who knows?
we're at the end of the show.
Oh,
Dave.
don't forget me, Turbine Guy channel. Go to Turbine Guy on YouTube, or you can find me at GoGreenEnergyOnline.com. gogreenenergyonline.com.
All right, you can hear more about the Seanote that Jay's been talking about. Again, he's got videos on the boat as well. And we will be back, and hopefully we'll have Mr. Savitsky with us next week.
Because I shouldn't be here, because I'll be in warm, sunny Florida.
Okay, well, you're going to be gone, but hopefully Don will be back, and we'll see you when you get back from Florida, Jay.
You can't get rid of me. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, that'll do it for today. Again, thanks a lot for tuning in to It's About the Green.
There you go. That was a big after show, guys. This is a big decompression time.
This is it. This is when Jay goes, okay, I've had enough of this law stuff.
Oh, geez. You don't even want to know what I know.
I think you should have your own law show. What do you think? Jay's Law.
Where I don't give legal advice? You know,
Well,
there,
you can just claim that you don't. But
It-
you can kind of tell them the way it is, according to Jay.
yeah. Well, it's just like I said, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not giving any legal advice, but if it were me, this is what I'd do right now. What else can
And
you
you've had a
say?
little experience with that, so that's.
I've had enough experience where Paul's actually thanked me for specifically for that video, because it made a big difference in his ability to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
So, and it's really funny because I've had a couple people say, "Oh, Paul doesn't listen to people. Paul doesn't listen." No, I found out the opposite. Paul does listen when someone's making sense.
So
and it's
when is your
so.
prediction as far as when is the boat going to be on its way somewhere else?
The judge is getting the paperwork today. There was nothing submitted earlier before I did my video around 1. So it'll get submitted today. I bet tonight the judge is going to be sitting down with a brandy, right? Maybe after his dinner or whatever, and he's going to go through everything and he's going to make his choice. There's a couple of
So
things
we're
that
talking on the 23rd. He's going to make a choice here.
I think he's going to do it tomorrow. And the reason I say that, because in his order, he talked about the perceived danger, and that needed to be resolved. And he had such a compressed timeline for the mediation within 2 weeks. And then if that doesn't work, right next Monday or Tuesday, we're having a hearing, or you're submitting your stuff. So I think he's either going to be tomorrow or early Thursday that he's going to. And you're going to have, on one side, Paul going, with a fistful of hundreds, I can move this. And on the other side, Hennepin County going, with this stack of hundreds, I can move this. Okay, and the judge said in there specifically that expense was to be considered. So, that's all I can say.
All right. Well, that'll do it for today then, Jay.
Well, yeah, you can't sign me off. Only I can sign us off there, Joe.
I'm going to sign myself off, Jay.
There you go. There you go. Fun show today, guys. You can see what we do. It's all about the green. Come up, have some fun, banter, and all that. Too bad Don's not here. Don's a really great guy to have on. He's definitely got a unique opinion, wouldn't you say, Joe?
He does.
Absolutely, just like the rest of us. Anyways, we'll see you next time on It's All About the Green.
There we go.
I got another client.